Hey, how's it going?
Good, how you doing?
So what do we got?
Batman #1, 1940.
Okay, forgive me, you've kind of brought me one of the holy grails of comic books here, and I'm just, almost speechless.
It's a fantastic book.
You're not Batman?
Not today. I'm at the pawn shop today to sell my Batman #1 comic. I picked it up about a year ago at auction. It's one of the most iconic comic books of all time. It has one of those covers that everybody recognizes. The minute you see it, there's just an affinity to it. So I'm hoping to get $250,000 for this comic book. I think in today's market, that's what it's worth.
This is definitely cool. He's always been my favorite superhero. Typically, one of the biggest reasons people like Batman is he didn't come from outer space. He wasn't bitten by a radioactive spider. This was just a rich guy that wanted to fight crime, which kind of makes it plausible that anybody could be Batman. And I think that's kind of why people relate to him quite a bit. So Batman was around prior to this and back when DC was Detective Comics. But this was his actual first comic book where it was just all about Batman.
I mean, they even introduced the Joker and Catwoman in this issue. Two pretty iconic characters.
This is a big deal, man. I've never had something like this get brought in before.
You know, it's a great book. It came out of a original owner collection. It was already graded. It's 5.5 condition, which for a Batman #1 is an extremely high grade.
I guess I gotta ask you what you want to do with it.
You know, if I sell it at a profit now, I'd like to do some good with the money.
Okay, what are you looking to get?
$250,000.
Oh, okay, that's just out of my wheelhouse. I mean, it is a #1. I've seen comic books go for that amount of money. Do you mind if I have a buddy of mine come down and take a look at it?
Not at all.
Give me a minute, okay?
No problem.
Hey, Steve, how's it going?
Real good. Hey, how you doing? Oh, what have we got here? Ooh.
A little bit out of my wheelhouse, man. Batman #1.
All right. As you know, this is a big book. This is one of the top 5 big books in the entire collecting industry. The beautiful thing about this is that CGC has already done its work, and this has not been restored because it has a blue label.
So tell me more about the blue label, because I don't know much about comic book grading.
Generally speaking, a lot of Golden Age books have been played with, restored. Someone's done some coloring, replacing staples. If it's been restored, it's going to have a purple label. If it is unrestored, it's going to have a blue label. So as soon as you see the blue label, you know this book has not been played with. Now, the important question is, what are you asking for in this book?
$250,000.
$250,000. We all know about Batman once. We all do our research. This is one of the strangest books in collecting right now, this Batman one. For some strange reason, this book actually went down in value. In 2016, it sold for $239,000. In 2018, it sold for $227,000. The last purchase was for $210,000. That's you, right?
That's me.
It makes no sense whatsoever for a Batman #1 to be going down. In my opinion, when this book was seen in the catalogs, people didn't like the way the 5.5 looked. They probably looked and said, it's a little dirty, and I don't want to pay all that money for this book. So it hung there for a while. And then someone came in and was able to get it for $210,000. That's crucial information for you.
So what would you pay for it?
This is a huge book. It's the first Joker, it's the first Catwoman, it's Batman #1. $210,000 to me would be good.
All right, well, I appreciate it. You gave me all the info I could use.
Beautiful book. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Appreciate it.
Okay, realistically, what would you take for it?
$250,000.
Okay, I believe it's worth every bit of what you're asking for it, but it's just not really my business model. I'm not a comic book investor. I don't have the time to sit on it. For me to make money on this, I'd have to offer you like 100 grand and then jump up and down and shout when I sold it for 150. So unfortunately, it's just a little too rich for my blood.
I completely understand.
Thank you for bringing it in.
My pleasure. I'm not at all disappointed that I didn't make the sale. As a Golden Age comic collector, this is one of my dream books. I'll sit on it as long as I need to.